Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of the Emerald Coast. My name is Amy, and I will be your service leader this morning. We gather here today on the unceded lands of the Muskogee Nation of Florida. We are grateful for the land and those who tended it before us. We are a people of many different paths and beliefs who are brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers. While diverse in age, ethnicity, and gender, we share the same values centered around love and acceptance of all. Our goal is to open minds, inspire spiritual growth, and ignite a passion for social justice. If you are here visiting, you've discovered a community of friendly and fallible humans who welcome you here. All of us were visitors and strangers once. We found friends and opportunities for spiritual growth and justice work here. If you are visiting today, please fill out a card by the front door so we can connect with you. In your order of service, you'll find a description of upcoming services as well as announcements. However, all the announcement people want to expand on their announcements. So Jane is going to expand on her announcement.
So, yes, I'm sure as all of you who regularly compare your e-news to your order of service noticed, such a nerd. That this notice didn't get updated. So this 4th of July, this coming Friday, Stacy Shanks and other folks have already let us know they can come, including wonderful Miss Darylyn. We do our annual parking lot fundraiser, and it is for Healing Paws for Warriors, a totally local organization that trains dogs for vets with various kinds of trauma. And so, as you know, that's a popular parking spot for folks going to the Lincoln Park. And thanks to Stacy, hot dogs will be provided, and then any side dishes would be welcome. Any time that you could stop by 2 to 8 for an hour, half an hour, or we stop early if we're just too dang tired, or if the parking lot fills up. So if you can help find us, or just get in touch, or just show up. We like the advance notice, but if you didn't give us advance notice and you want to come, just come. So that'll be this Friday, starting at 2.
And if you have a Healing Cause for Warriors shirt and you were donating, and you were coming, please wear it. They've asked us if we could help them with that advertising.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, who else told me they? Okay, go ahead. One of you.
So last week, I announced that Denny and I are having a pool gathering around our pool in the backyard. And I asked for RSVPs. The big question today is, what is the weather going to be like? That's a good question. From all predictions that we've seen, it may rain at 2. There's a 56% chance for that. But that it would clear up by 3, which is when I said the pool gathering would start. So, we have a sunroom that we can put food in, so we don't have to, if rain comes up, we don't have to gather up food. It'll just be cushions for seats, and we have lots of seats, but if you have a lawn chair and you want to bring it. My question is, by a show of hands, how many people are planning on coming? Great, because I'm going to have a taco bar, and I wanted to know how much food to prepare. Also, yeah. Also, today at 3 or 3:30, depending on how much rain we get. But yeah, it'll go 3 to 6. That's when we have a lot of shade in the pool. And everybody is welcome. If you change your mind and you want to come, please do. We have a good size driveway so that we could fit 8 cars in. And if people are mobily challenged, we ask that people who are much more physically able to park on the street, or we have a park that is a block away that you can park in. But we can fit 8 cars, so if you come and park in the driveway, snug up to the garage. Thank you.
Also relating to food. So that gets your attention then, right? Next week's service is not a potluck after church. Just want to make that really clear. The potluck is church. So when you come in, all the tables will be set up back there. You don't come sit up here. You go right to the table, and we will have service elements as part of our potluck dinner church, we call it. Which means we have to set up the day before. So anyone with a good back who would like to help us move tables, it's more like moving all these chairs. It just, you know, with 2 or 3 people, that takes a long time. But anyone who's able to come at 10 on Saturday to help us set up and decorate, let me know, and I'll send you a reminder that day, or just show up. We could use the help. Thank you.
Okay, I think everybody got up here who wanted to. So today is an intergenerational service, and there are some serious parts, but it's mostly fun. This means the children and young people will be with us for the whole service, and they are all helping. Right? And now the prelude prepares us for the service.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know it, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah yeah, oh yeah yeah, oh yeah yeah, oh yeah yeah. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know it, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah yeah, 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 oh yeah.
So this morning, Sheila is going to light our chalice, right? And Alex and Naomi are going to read the chalice lighting.
On this day, as with so many Sundays, we come in front of the whirling world. The wind, the bright sun, the push and pull of tides and time, from the tumult of global news and local stories, the do this now culture that we live in.
We come into this sanctuary from the windstorms the rush of speeding drivers on the roadways, the rushing silence that fills some of our homes.
All of this can leave us feeling stirred and unsettled. We need places where we can come to find our grounding once again.
Coming from the wind, coming from the whirl, may this be a place where we can experience genuine stillness, even just for a few moments. May this be a place that we can count on. May this be a place of learning, of nourishment, a community that a generation knew zest in us.
So now for our opening hymn, Joshua is going to lead it. He actually taught this last week in Time for All Ages, so some of you should know it. So you might want to do it a couple times, you know, and then we'll do it.
So as we did this last time, there are moves. So if it helps to stand, you can. But if you don't want to stand, please don't. All the moves can be done sitting down. So this is a fun chant that we're going to chant a few times until we get tired of it. And you can sing it however you want. Just find something that feels natural to you. And I'll start. So, earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. One more time. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Yes. It's good to give ourselves a hug, too.
Now we're all warmed up. Now is the time for sharing joys and concerns. You are invited to briefly share events in your life so we may support and celebrate together. Please do not share others' personal information without their permission. The video feed is muted during this time so that you don't have to worry about it being broadcast on the internet. And when you And now it's time to take up the offering. After our song of dedication, greeters will take up the offering. Generosity is a spiritual practice. Our fellowship is supported by our pledges and donations. If you are paying your pledge with a check today, please make a note in the memo line. We also have a tradition we call Share the Plate, where we split equally all undesignated offerings with a local charity. And since today is a fifth Sunday, our Share the Plate partner is our own UUFEC Social Justice Committee to do the work that they do. If you're paying with cash, we'll just assume it's just a cash donation. If you're paying part of your pledge with cash, please put it in one of the envelopes so it can be marked, and our wonderful accounting people can record it accurately. Yes, Denny, I'm talking about you. So I'm going to do this little thing that we sing, and then we'll take up the offering.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
So you may have noticed we sort of changed up the order of things a little bit, but that's okay. So Holly is now going to tell you a story, or read you a story. Well,
Did I do it right? Daniel, you'll always be taller than me. The Paper Bag Princess. To Elizabeth. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all her clothes with his fiery breath and carried off Prince Ronald. Calamity. Elizabeth decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that was not burnt was a paper bag. She put on the paper bag and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forest and horses' bones. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. She took hold of the knocker and banged on the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Well, a princess. I love to eat princesses, but I've already eaten a whole castle today. I'm a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." He slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged on the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I'm a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait," shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes," said the dragon, and he took a huge, deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 50 forests. "Fantastic," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 100 forests. "Magnificent," said Elizabeth. And the dragon took out another huge breath, but this time nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball or a hot dog. Elizabeth said, "Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds? "Yes," said the dragon, and jumped up and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic! Do it again!" So the dragon jumped up and flew around the whole world in just 20 seconds. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he lay down, and he went straight to sleep. Elizabeth whispered very softly, "Hey, dragon." The dragon didn't move at all. She lifted up the dragon's ear and put her head right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, "Hey, dragon!" The dragon was so tired, he didn't even move. Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. He looked at her and said, "Elizabeth, you are a mess. You smell like ashes. Your hair is all tangled, and you're wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you're dressed like a real princess." "Ronald," said Elizabeth, "your clothes are really pretty, and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince. But you are a bum. They didn't get married after all."
So I wanted to read this story today because it has to do with how we judge when we see what people are wearing and how we judge them by what they have on. And, Prince Ronald thought that Elizabeth couldn't be a real princess without appropriate clothing, no matter how wonderfully smart and brave she was on the inside. So we have this thing here we call T-shirt Sunday because we generally don't wear princess clothes anymore. Or, we don't dress up coming to church very much in this congregation. But a lot of us express a lot about ourselves by things that are printed on T-shirts. Now, some of us, it's not printed on a T-shirt. For some of us, it's a, an outfit. Some of us have hats that we wear. So if you put up the next one, that's a T-shirt. Okay, so this shirt that's showing up there now belongs to the Reverend Kathy Hurt, who will be joining us in August as our part-time minister. So when she heard about this, she sent the picture and asked that it be shown because she couldn't be here to show it off on herself. You want me to read it? It says, "I'm the minister Fox News warns you about," is what it says. So there are a lot of reasons for why we picked our outfit or shirt today. Many people will wear a shirt that supports a favorite sports team or the college or university they attended. Sometimes it's a character from a video game. Any of those? I don't know what they are. Okay. Something about your personality or a favorite hobby. Sometimes it's even about politics. And sometimes it's just the first clean shirt that got pulled out of the drawer this morning, which also says something about you. So now we're going to spend some time sharing. I did leave a good bit of time so that as many of us who want to can share. If you want to come up, you're welcome to come up here and speak into this microphone, or I need an assistant. Lorelei. So get this mic, and can you take it out of the clip? I think you just pull. Yeah. Okay. My lovely assistant, if you can't or don't want to come up here, my lovely assistant will come to you, and you can explain about your shirt. So my shirt, I actually went through the trunk of shirts from, as Rudyard Kipling says, in the far, high and far off times. Is that what he said? Yes. This is from a long time ago. When that was what I did mostly, was peace work, peace and nonviolence work. So you have to say it out loud, because if you just read it, it doesn't make sense sometimes. And it says, visualize world peace. But if you just say it, it comes out correct. Okay, so now we'll start. If anybody would like to come up here. Okay, let's start with the kids, because they're getting antsy. So do you want to talk in here or talk in the mic down here?
My shirt was the first shirt my mom hurled at me, so that says a lot about me. But at least it's a cute rhino. This is a rhino that was in a zoo somewhere. A newborn rhino somewhere. Do you just want to speak?
As you can see, we're wearing matching shirts. So in my family, we each have our own animal that represents us. So I'm a sloth, and Shu is a chicken, and Lorelai's a pug, and Josh is a penguin. And so we like to get stuff with those animals on them. And so what I like to do when I go to sit down, I find a nice, really comfortable spot and get really comfy and sit down and relax. And then Shua likes to come and find me and think, wow, Mom looks so comfortable right now. I'm going to go sit on top of her. So this shirt really represents us. I'm going to go now.
Okay.
Okay.
This shirt is from the play I did at ACTC, and on the back is all the plays for summer. I did a murder mystery, Two Maid Detectives at the Murder Mansion. It was really fun. My performance was on Friday.
Okay, so my shirt, it represents, because usually I wear more something like more girly, but like today I just did not feel like a girly outfit yet today, so I just threw on like the most like male thing that I have, which is his old shirt. And that is true. And yeah, that's really mostly the reason why I wear this.
Okay, so I don't really have a shirt, but an entire outfit. What's special about this one is not only it's my favorite boy band Stray Kids, but I made the entire thing. This took like 8 hours and this took 4. And on the back, it has all their names.
So recently I went on a trip to St. Augustine, and why you see a cat on a parachute is because they had to parachute a cat down from the top of the St. Augustine Lighthouse. I don't know.
Hi. My shirt says it all. One human family. I met the person that came out with these shirts down in Key West.
And my shirt is from Sushi, and I had a wonderful time, and it says, "Turn Our World Around" by, and it's like red, yellow, black, and white. Sound familiar?
Yeah. So Kippy, did you want to come up here? Lorelai, Kippy's going to come up.
Hi. My shirt has diatoms on it. They're like the most common type of algae, and I just really like algae. But what's extra special about this shirt is that my dear friend Ryan made it for me. She like bleach painted all the diatoms on by hand. So it's a really extra special shirt to me.
About 4 or 5 years ago, my older son and daughter-in-law sent me this T-shirt, and it was kind of a mantra for a long time for me. It says that you were never too old to play in the dirt. However, I've been getting to think lately that maybe there is a time when you're too old to play in the dirt. I'll give you an update next year.
I'm Geraldine. My shirt says, "I will not be remembered as the woman who kept her mouth shut." As y'all know, I do not keep my mouth shut when it comes to basic human rights. Hey, I heard that. I definitely speak my opinions, but this definitely comes true when it comes to basic human rights and loving everybody and accepting people for who they are.
Julie, yeah.
Hello. Everyone knows what I own by now.
So the cool thing is that these pants actually match with the sweater, and this is a gift from Ryan. So if I move you can see that they're chickens. It's very fall themed. I like it a lot, and I wear it basically every Sunday. So.
Hi. I bought this shirt for my son, who's a minister, but when I told him about it, he says, "No, it's a dad joke." So I hid it. He doesn't want it. So I said, "Son, you can go and wear this for a service and say you're feeling really holy." And he said, "That's not a good idea."
I told Amy this is an existential crisis when you have to pick a T-shirt that says something that you want to say to a group of people and you've got a whole row of T-shirts. So I picked one that says home because I am from here. I'm born and raised in Valparaiso, and I'm here to tell you that right here is the Gulf of Mexico.
So to follow that, mine says, but it was assigned the Gulf of Mexico at birth. And I just kind of figure if he can rename everything and remember those names, then there's no reason why he should have a problem with other people changing theirs.
My shirt is not significant in any way. It's really silly. I almost wore my Gulf of Mexico shirt. I didn't realize it wasn't clean. So this morning I laid out this shirt, a Scream t-shirt because that's my favorite movie, and a Doctor Who shirt because that's my favorite show. And I went with this one. So this is a shirt from a filmmaker named Neil Breen. I have 2 Neil Breen tattoos also on my arms, here and here. He has made 5 films. They're all really bad. I mean, they're really, really bad. So he stars in them, he writes them, he directs them, he produces them, does everything, and they're really, really, really bad. And I go see my twin brother twice a year, and we watch between 10 and 20 bad B films every trip, because it's something that we really enjoy doing. So this very much represents my personality, and Daniel wanted me to say that he was the one who said I should wear the Neil Breen shirt. I also have several Neil Breen shirts.
I wore my thank you for voting shirt because, well, there you go. Just because when Ned went into memory care, I suddenly had all this time, and one of the activities I picked up was being a poll worker, and it really is amazing the things you learn. It was fascinating to learn exactly how our system really works, and the training is excellent, and it doesn't happen that often, so I highly recommend it if you want to get more involved in just elections and election safety.
For me, the T-shirt wearing was a real process. My favorite shirt that I wanted to wear was my Kamala shirt because it had all the little kitties on it. And people who know me know I absolutely love cats. But we're going to the grocery store after this, and I didn't want to stand out. What does that say? I have more fear in my heart of what other people think outside of this safe space than to wear that shirt. So I wore my Susie shirt, which is another thing that I have a heart. Well, and Linda wore her Susie shirt. Susie is the Southeast Unitarian Universalist Summer Institute. You can see why we call it Susie. It is the second largest gathering of UUs yearly at various colleges. It's been in the South. This year, I think it's at Radford. They've changed from Virginia Tech to Radford to Western Carolina University. So I think now they're back at Radford. It is 1 week of pure UU joy. It is music, it is like Center for Lifelong Learning, if people are familiar with that. They have a catalog of all the classes you can take. It's classes all through the day, into the evening. Fun things like wine tasting or music, singing, gathering, or exploring your UU principles, or I taught beadwork for many years. It is a total fun place for families. Teens love it. They get all kinds of opportunities. They have what they call TWAB, Teens Way Off Broadway. They come on Sunday and they are in a teen dorm all together, and they plan a play that is put on Friday night at the end of the week. And they do sets, they do costumes, they write the skits, they do everything. It is a fantastic opportunity for young adults, young people. They have young adult groups, they have all kinds. It's over over 1,000 people that stay in dorms. So this is my big advertisement for Susie. But I was on the board for several years, and I can honestly say it was a pure joy. We can't go this year because we're traveling.
You all know that I talk about my daughters constantly. So I have the classic, I'm not afraid of anything. I have 4 daughters. You can't scare me. It says 4. Most of you know I have 3 daughters. But my Kim lives in Pensacola, her good friend who's traveled with us, and she's a very lovely young woman, has issues with her parents, so she's become my 4th daughter. And she just loved it because I have one that says 3 daughters, so then I ordered a 4th daughter. So she likes it.
Okay. Now, Maverick, you want to come up here? Or come.
I can attest to that. I have 4 sisters, and it is a nightmare.
So do I.
So I hope y'all will excuse the fact that I do not have a t-shirt. I have a jacket because I forgot today was t-shirt day up until I was in the parking lot. But thankfully I had my battle jacket there in the car with me. And this jacket has been a work in progress of mine for the past 4 years now, since I started getting into politics and into activism and stuff like that. Because I have a lot of anxiety with getting up and talking in front of people. I was just shaking over in the booth over there. But this jacket reminds me to be brave and to speak out, not only for myself, but for others who may just be as afraid as I am. So I can't blend. I have a tendency to try and blend into the crowd. I can't with this jacket, and that is a challenge I give to myself. So I have to stand up and I have to speak out.
Okay. I hate to cut. Yeah, turn around.
Oh,
no,
okay.
so we can see the back.
Yes, I see.
So they can see the back.
The back piece is the most recent addition. The dog was painted by my wonderful partner, Crow, and the lettering was done by myself. Some of you may recognize the phrase, "Rage, rage against the dying of the light," from the poem by Dylan Thomas.
Okay, so I hate to cut everybody off, but we're going to try to finish, and then we've got second hour. You know, you can go get some eats. I have no idea what the men have planned. And get some coffee, get something to eat, and then anybody who wants to come back up in the front here and we'll talk more about our things, okay? We are not going to have a closing hymn today because we're going to have fun with the postlude. So now we'll extinguish the chalice, who is Daniel, right? And Lorelei are going to.
Testing. All right, we're good. From arrogance, pompousness, and from thinking ourselves more important than we are, may some saving sense of humor liberate us. For allowing ourselves to ridicule the faith of others, may we be forgiven.
From making war and calling it peace, special privilege and calling it justice, indifference and calling it tolerance, pollution and calling it progress, may we be cured.
For telling ourselves and others that evil is inevitable while good is impossible, may we stand corrected.
Creator of our mixed up, tragic, aspiring, doubting, and insurgent lives, help us to be as good as in our hearts we have always wanted to be.
And I did neglect to introduce my other two helpers this morning. I have two little turtles up here assisting. So our postlude is a chant that we've done before. We do it with a drum circle. So if the young people want to, if the young people want to come up and choose an instrument, and if any of the not so young people would like to participate, you are also welcome. If you signal to one of these people, they'll bring you something, or you can come up here and grab a tambourine or a rattle. We've got a few more things. We've got some little drums. Yeah, bring them out, guys. Bring them out and give them to people. All these other things. Okay, so instruments have to be quiet for just a minute. So this chant is actually in our hymnal, but it's pretty easy to learn. It's number 1003, I think, in the teal hymnal. So the first part goes, where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? And it goes like this. So I'm going to start the drum. Okay, so this is a heartbeat. So this is your rhythm, guys. Right? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Y'all can come. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Okay, that's the first part. The next one just says, the next one just says, where do we come from? That's the only tunes a little bit. So that's the easy one. The other one is the one that somehow the kids always like to do, and it's mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Right? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. those ones? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to start at the beginning, and I'm going to do each one, and I'll do each one twice. But you can, if you only remember one of them, you just keep doing the same thing. And then it ends up being everybody singing something different after a while, which is fine. Okay, you ready? Go, guys. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do all the instruments back on the table. And don't forget